The psychology of motivation, why you quit. Have you ever started something with great energy and excitement, only to lose interest and stop halfway through? Maybe you began a new diet, tried to learn a new skill, or set a goal to wake up early and exercise. At first, you were pumped up and felt like nothing could stop you. But as time passed, your motivation faded. You might have told yourself, "I will do it tomorrow," again and again, until one day you stopped trying altogether. If this sounds familiar, you are not alone. The truth is, staying motivated is hard for many people, and there are real psychological reasons behind why we often quit the things we once cared about. Motivation is the force that pushes us to act. It is what gets us out of bed in the morning, helps us finish work, or drives us to chase our dreams. But motivation is not a constant thing. It changes depending on how we feel, what we believe, and how our brains are wired. To understand why people quit, we need to look at how motivation works and what causes it to fade. When we begin something new, it usually feels exciting. This excitement releases chemicals in the brain like dopamine. Dopamine is sometimes called the feel-good chemical. It is linked to pleasure and reward. When dopamine levels rise, we feel more focused and energized. So, at the start of a new project, our brains are basically cheering us on, making us feel good just by thinking about our goal. However, this chemical boost does not last forever. Once the newness wears off, and we start facing obstacles or boredom, our brain does not release as much dopamine. The hard work feels less exciting, and we start asking ourselves if it is even worth it. This is when many people begin to lose interest and motivation. Another reason we quit is because of unrealistic expectations. In the beginning, we often picture success happening quickly. We imagine fast results, losing weight in a week, becoming fluent in a new language in a month, or making money right away. But real progress is usually slow. When reality does not match our expectations, we feel frustrated. This frustration turns into disappointment, and disappointment weakens motivation. Fear is another big reason people quit. Sometimes we are not afraid of failing, we are afraid of succeeding. Success brings change, and change can feel scary. You might wonder, what if I succeed and people expect more from me, or what if I cannot keep it up? Other times, fear of failure stops us from trying hard enough. We would rather quit early than risk finding out we are not good enough. The brain tries to protect us from pain, so it tells us to stay in our comfort zone. But this comfort zone is also where our dreams go to die. Then there is the problem of comparison. When we look at others and see their success, we sometimes feel like we are not doing enough. Social media makes this worse, showing us the best parts of everyone else's life. We might think, if I cannot be as good as them, why bother trying? This kind of thinking is dangerous. It leads to self-doubt, and self-doubt kills motivation. Let us not forget about habits. Motivation is like a spark, but habits are like fuel. If you do not build good habits, the spark of motivation fades quickly. For example, if you want to write a book but only write when you feel inspired, the book may never get finished. But if you build a habit of writing every day, even when you do not feel like it, you are more likely to succeed. Habits keep you going when motivation runs out. Also, many people quit because they try to do too much at once. They set big goals but forget to break them into small, doable steps. The brain can feel overwhelmed by large tasks, making us feel stuck. When we feel stuck, we tend to stop. But if we take small steps, we build momentum. Momentum keeps motivation alive. There is also the issue of identity. If you see yourself as someone who always quits or someone who is lazy, that identity becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You act according to who you believe you are. So even when you want to change, deep down you might not believe it is possible. That belief holds you back. On the other hand, if you start to see yourself as someone who finishes what they start, you are more likely to stick with your goals. Beliefs shape behavior. Support from others also plays a big role. When you feel alone in your efforts, motivation drops. But when you have someone cheering you on, or when you are part of a group with similar goals, you are more likely to keep going. Human beings are social creatures. We work better when we feel connected and supported. Let us talk about rewards. People often quit because they do not see any reward for their effort. Rewards do not always have to be big. Even small rewards, like treating yourself to something nice after reaching a mini goal, can help your brain stay motivated. Your brain loves rewards. They help remind you that progress is worth the effort. Sometimes, quitting happens because the goal does not really matter to you. Maybe you started something because you saw someone else doing it or because you thought it was what you were supposed to do. But if your heart is not in it, your motivation will fade fast. Real motivation comes from within. It comes from doing something you truly care about or something that connects to your values. Now, here is the good news. You can train your brain to stay motivated. First, remind yourself why you started in the first place. Go back to that feeling you had in the beginning. Write it down. Read it when you feel like quitting. Second, set small, clear goals. Focus on one step at a time. Third, track your progress. Even small wins matter. Seeing progress helps your brain stay motivated. Fourth, change your self-talk. Replace "I cannot do this" with "I am learning." Speak to yourself with kindness and encouragement. Fifth, surround yourself with positive people. Their energy can lift you when yours is low. Remember, motivation is not magic. It is a mix of thoughts, feelings, brain chemistry, habits, and environment. Some days will be hard. You might not always feel excited or confident. That is normal. What matters is learning to keep going, even when motivation fades. If you can do that, you will be stronger than most. If you found this explanation helpful and you want to understand more about how the human mind works, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us continue to make content that brings psychology into everyday life. Thank you for watching.